For example 7, we have a quadratic that we have to factor. When we factor a quadratic, we're looking for a product and a sum of two factors. To get the product, it's always the leading coefficient times the constant, so my product is -2. And the sum is always the middle term, which is an understood 1. So my two factors have to be a +2 and a -1. I'm going to use those two factors to expand out this middle term. 2x squared. Now I can put either one of these first, but if I have a -1 or a +1, get in the habit of putting the -1 first. It avoids some sign errors. So -x plus 2x minus 1. Group up the first two. Group up the second two. And now factor by grouping. I can pull out an x on the first set. X times 2x minus 1. And on the second one, the only thing I can pull out is a 1 times 2x minus 1. And you might say that you can't pull out anything, but that would just be wrong. Now they have a factor of 2x minus 1. And what's left behind is x plus 1. Set both of these equal to 0. 2x minus 1 equals 0. So x equals 1/2. Or x plus 1 equals 0. So x equals -1/2. No, -1. Okay. On the trig side of things, notice that this is basically in the same quadratic form as the previous equation. Right? The only difference is that instead of just x squared here, we have cosine squared and cosine. So this is going to factor exactly like this one did, where it was 2x minus 1 and x plus 1. I'm just going to put the cosines in there. So 2 cosine x minus 1 times cosine x plus 1. Make sure I just got that right. Okay, so set them both equal to 0. 2 cosine x minus 1 equals 0. Or cosine x plus 1 equals 0. Solve these things separately. Cosine x equals 1/2. Notice I don't have to take the square root of both sides, so I'm not going to have plus or minus. It's just what angle gives me a cosine of 1/2. Cosine x coordinate on the unit circle, which is 60 degrees, or pi over 3. So x is equal to pi thirds plus 2 in pi. That takes care of all those coterminals. And cosine is also the same down here in quadrant 4, which is 300 degrees. And what is that? 5 pi thirds. There's the first set of answers. Over here for the second one, I've got cosine x equals -1. Seems very familiar. Cosine is equal to -1 over at 180 degrees, or just pi. And that's it. So x equals pi plus the period 2 in pi. Let's say that I wanted to get all of my answers in the interval from -pi over 2 to pi over 2. Let's include both of them. So that's on this side of the unit circle. So instead of writing 5 pi over 3, because that's outside of it, I'd write -pi over 3. The next one I'd have is +pi over 3, but I wouldn't include the pi because it's not within that range.